Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast where four lifelong friends in this case gather to talk about video games from the comfort of their own homes. I'm Holden, but I'm not here with Chad again this week. He will not be with us, very sadly. He's doing well. But I am here with Trevor and Brent.
Hello!
And
what's up?
You, the audience, and that's why we love you. Brent, Trevor, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Go ahead, Brent.
Oh, thanks. I'm a cool guy. I like to vibe. That's kind of it's kind of what I do all the time. I have a podcast. I do music. Kind of a chill guy. I like games.
Sweet chill.
Yeah. Very chill.
I am Trevor Bettis. I've been on here a few times, I think. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've been on here now. I am the one host of the Difficulty Class podcast that is all about Dungeons and Dragons, and we do stuff, and it's fun, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It is.
It's a good time.
Maybe there's another podcast. Maybe I'll talk about that at the end. Stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm Holden, and I like to party. I had to put that.
I feel like I should shout out the Uncultured Opinions podcast, because that's my podcast, and
Yeah.
My boys would want me to shout it out, so...
Yeah, never miss an opportunity to shill. Never miss an opportunity. I'm in here every time, and I'm just like, hey, I really love talking with you guys and talking about video games, but also I want to talk about my podcast too.
It was funny because we recorded our podcast probably, I think Friday. We did an episode on Parasite, and I had the show notes and everything. And housekeeping, I mentioned that I was coming on this podcast, and they were giving me so much heat for it, like making fun of me. No, they were just like making fun of me, like as bros,
Why?
you know.
What's wrong with Respawn Aim Fire? It's a great podcast.
Yeah,
I heard good things about it.
No, it's like, oh, Brent, like he's the head of Uncultured Opinions. He's going on. I'm like, nah, man, these are my bros.
He's the ambassador of Uncultured Opinions. What do you think of Parasite?
I loved Parasite. It was my second favorite movie of 2019.
I loved it as well. That was fantastic.
I still haven't seen it.
Dude, it's good.
It's really good. I feel like I saw it before a lot of the hype got in, which I'm so happy because it's like nonstop talk about this movie now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got to it like before then. But man, it's really good. What was number one for you?
1917.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one too.
I'm really glad I didn't know the plot of Parasite because going in, I didn't know what I was expecting, and like I knew it was Oscar winning, but I still was in the back of my head like, I like foreign movies because I love anime, but it's still kind of like I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm not like too hyped, and it blew me away. I'm still thinking about the movie and like trying to piece things together.
It also plays really, really well on a second viewing. Like it kind of hits you how well written the movie actually is. Like I already really liked it, and I watched it again last week, and I'm like, holy shit. This is just impeccably well written. It's really, really good.
But
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to spoil it, but
Appreciate it.
When it's just something clicked in my head when they don't tell you, but it clicked in my head what the name meant, and that was one of the biggest one of the best moments I've had watching movies in a while. Just clicking in my head what the name Parasite means.
It's good stuff. We're a video game podcast, however, though. So let's talk about what games. Like I was just curious because I love Parasite so much. I want to know what you thought of it. But what guys have you been playing? Is what I was about to say. What have you been playing, you guys?
You can go ahead, Trevor.
I mean, I'll play some guys. I don't care. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. It's funny. I see on the show notes, Holden, that you wrote Sekiro.
Oh yeah.
Guess who else has been playing Sekiro?
We're playing Sekiro right now.
Yeah. So
awesome.
So I got back into Sekiro, and I finally beat that motherfucker on top of the castle.
Genichiro?
Yeah, that guy. Finally fucking beat him. Like, that was what had been stopping me for so long. I just couldn't do it. And then I went on and beat 4 bosses in a row after him.
Dang.
That's like what happens.
Like, I see the internet always talking about how they're like, oh, this dude, yeah, he's a little difficult, whatever. And he was a literal roadblock for me. Yet I beat the fucking horse dude on the first try, Lady Butterfly on the first try.
You beat Lady Butterfly on the first try?
I did. And then I beat the Guardian Ape on the second try. And then this motherfucker stopped me for a year.
Yeah, so I got stuck on Owl, which is another boss you'll face later on.
I just got to him, and I got my tail between my legs, and I'm scarred.
All I'll say is be as aggressive as you can and just get in his fucking face. That is how you beat him. Try to keep his posture up.
But because I was playing that, though, I was also like, fuck, I really miss Dark Souls. So I popped into Dark Souls 3 again, just walked through some areas and beat the shit out of everything because it's like my third playthrough and I'm God knows what soul level. And then today, I met up with a bunch of friends and we played the Dark Souls board game because that's what you do.
Yeah, you're just into the whole Souls thing now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then, of course, Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
So much Animal Crossing.
I can't play it anymore. My girlfriend has my 3DS. So I'm just biding the days until New Horizons comes out.
Oh, that's a painful month.
Oof.
But on the point of Sekiro, I love that game, but man, I am bad at it, and I'm not even stuck on a boss. I'm stuck on that big ogre inside like that castle. Like I'm still
jeez.
I'm still early on, and I've probably put. I think Steam says I'm like 7 hours. I put a lot of time grinding and trying to get past it, and it's.
That's the hard thing about that game compared to Dark Souls. Like, Dark Souls, like, I'm having some trouble. I'll just grind out this fucking area forever until I can level my shit up. But Sekiro's like, what if you couldn't level up until you beat shit?
Yeah. See, I don't even really like Dark Souls. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Dark Souls, but I love Sekiro and I love Bloodborne. I'm obsessed with Bloodborne.
Bloodborne's so good.
It's amazing, yeah.
I just like the ones that go outside the Dark Souls norm, I guess. That's really cool.
Trevor's looking at a hunter statue.
Yeah, I literally have a hunter statue, like, right here on my desk.
That is sick.
That's really cool.
The ogre, I'll say, I think it's actually one of the hardest bosses in that game. Like, bosses, mini-bosses, it's one of the hardest. I'm on... Trevor gave, like, I don't know, man. I'm on new
Did
game...
you get the flame vent and some oil?
Yeah.
You just make him your bitch. You're like, now you're a little wet, now you on fire, now you dead.
Yeah, but then you throw the oil on him, and then that's the moment he decides to do the grab, and then you're fucking done.
And then he fucking yeets you off the goddamn sledge.
Yeah. But I'm on new game +3 now, I think.
Ooh, good job.
And thank you. And he's still the most annoying boss. I go for new run. I'm like, got to deal with that fucking ogre again.
Really?
Like, yeah, he drives me nuts. But like on this run, I have not lost to a boss yet.
The general was what destroyed me, so I can't say anything. I understand.
Everyone has their own. I was on the ape for a long time.
So you're going for that platinum or something?
I'm going for the. It's actually going to be my first platinum.
Oh,
that's cool.
So I'm going to do it. I'm at this point. I need to unlock all the skills. That's the hardest one to get, just from tedium and just playing the game over and over again until I get all the skill points. And then I have to beat a boss that I already beat in another playthrough, like in a different save file, but it doesn't count. I guess like the achievement is beating all of the bosses, and I think they want you to do it in one save file, but I had multiple save files I was using.
Oh, I see. You have to do it in one. Okay, I got you.
So not to like do too much spoilers because I don't want to ruin it for Brent here. The point where you're at right now, you had a decision. Based on that decision, you actually get a different final boss.
Interesting.
So actually, you could. You're fighting Owl. You'll have some more game to play. But if you made the other choice, that you would have been on the final boss right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
It's called the Shura ending, and I did it in another save, but not in the one I'm on right now.
I love From Software games. They're so good.
They're so good. This is my favorite one, I think. I just think the combat is perfect. It's so perfect. I'm obsessed.
So what have you been playing, Brent?
I've actually been playing a lot, if you would care to indulge me on a few of them.
Absolutely.
Started off with Witcher 3, always going back to that, best game of all time. Trying to beat the DLCs, doing all that. Catching up on Modern Warfare, Destiny, trying to get some bounties done. One of the biggest things I've been playing recently is I turned back on Batman Arkham Asylum. And I've just been kind of playing that a lot more, trying to go through all the Arkham games, because I'm obsessed with Batman. So I'm trying to... All that news of the Batsuit getting leaked and all those leaked pictures got me way too excited than I probably should have been. So I just kind of been playing some Arkham Asylum, and man, that game still holds up.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's a really good game.
Yeah, no, what if Metroid was Batman? You win every time.
Oh, I didn't know. I have not been pitched the game like that, but I've never played him. and that pitch might have just sold me on it.
What?
Arkham Asylum is honestly probably the best Arkham game.
You've never played Arkham Asylum?
No, never.
Turn off the podcast, leave your basement, go to your room, purchase the game, download it, play it, and then come back and we'll do this podcast.
Dallas has a big list of games.
Chad.
That's on my list of games, is Witcher 3 and Arkham Asylum. Everyone says City is the best, and I do really enjoy City, but I think Arkham has you in that closed off asylum. You're going to different set pieces, and I think it's just awesome.
I 100% agree with you. I do like City, but I feel like it is a different game compared to Asylum. Like Asylum it's just so good.
I've only I only beat Asylum twice, but I've played probably the first 4 hours about 8 times. Whether I'm playing on a different console or playing on PC, but on PC I've played on 3 different launchers, or I've lost my save file, or I don't have PS Plus, so I can't get cloud saves. I've played that game so many times. I know the first 4 hours like the back of my hand.
Is there an HD remaster of these games out, or is it backwards compatibility on Xbox? Okay.
Yeah. There's the Return to Arkham collection.
You have Game Pass, don't you?
I do, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's free on Game Pass.
Done. Sold.
Yeah, do it.
I got a month till Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal comes out. So
you got time.
Yeah.
I got time.
I highly recommend them. Even people say Origins is bad, but I really enjoy Origins. I
need
Origins
to play
is
that
worth
one.
the time too.
I didn't play it, but as soon as I found out Deathstroke was in, I realized I missed out.
That Deathstroke fight is one of my favorite boss battles. That was a really good fight.
Oh, I got to find a way to play that. But you said you were playing Destiny though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I realized I don't even think of playing Destiny now as gaming because I just hang out with my friends and shoot shit. But we've been rolling through Iron Banner and everything. The Momentum was the Crucible special one for during a week, and we sat there and won 9 games in a row, and we went, is everyone good not on right now? Because we're not good. What is happening?
I remember at launch when, what was it? It wasn't Trials of the Nine, was it? I think it was. I would play a bunch of those, and it was just the most fun thing ever because you'd have all your squad roll up, and they would give you little intros of doing your emotes and everything. Mm-hmm. It was one of the most fun things at launch, and then it was just fun. There's some really good times with Destiny to be had. But most of my friends are not on PC, so I don't have friends.
Oh, yeah. No, we play on PS4, and a couple of the guys have PC, and they switch over when we're not on and play on there.
That's what I did when I was doing the raid with Holden and them.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. Chad, because I couldn't handle the raid. It was way too much for me.
Yeah.
And you were the one at the beginning of the time I'm going to go in blind. I'm not going to do anything.
100%, and then I regretted it. So
yeah, Chad and Dallas are the MVPs on that.
Yeah, absolutely. If I feel though, even if I did know what to expect going into it, I still would have been really frustrated. It was just so. Oh, it was so tedious.
Yeah, you got to be
play things out.
The people that do raids every week. I'm I can't, dude.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like just hopping on with my friends, going to Crucible or Sundial or something, and just shooting the shit while we're shooting shit.
Mm-hmm. I like doing the strikes.
Oh yeah,
I get to shoot AI enemies, which is way easier.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm not good enough for Crucible.
I love doing strikes just infinitely, as long as it's not the same one over and over and over again.
Yeah, if you give me a random one, and they give you the same one a few times in a row, it's oh my god, you know what random means?
I think the last couple things I have to talk about is Jedi Fallen Order. I'm still trying to beat. Did not like your guys' review on it. That really hurt me. I respect it, but that really hurt.
I didn't.
We were pretty harsh on it.
I didn't listen to your guys' review.
Yeah, we didn't like it. We were really disappointed. Both Chad and I were both pretty disappointed.
So I loved that game even with its faults. I'm no. If you say you hate it, I understand. I absolutely loved it, and then the ending happened, and I hated it.
The
ending of that game was no, this is bad fan fiction now.
Oof.
When Darth Vader shows up?
Spoilers, God.
Are you kidding me? I just said I haven't beat it yet.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm an asshole. I mean, that's not what happened to the end. I was just Snape kills Dumbledore.
Snape's in the game, bro.
I'm so sorry, Brent. All right, so you can. All right, let's see. Have you beaten Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, I do not like that game.
Okay, I was gonna say you could spoil that for
Agreed.
me because I'm playing that right now. What's a game you could spoil for me right now?
I could spoil Red Dead Redemption for you. I know what happens.
I need some repercussion. I already know Arthur Morgan dies.
No, because here's the thing. Like, we got listeners. They may not know it. It's fine. We'll spoil it for you off.
All right. Okay, that's fair.
Well, it leads
I'm
into
very
the
sorry,
next
but
thing.
I really was not an intentional.
Nah,
Yeah, don't
it's
say what
fine.
else you're playing. He might spoil it for you.
No, the last thing I've been playing is pretty much just replaying all the Assassin's Creed games because best franchise except for Odyssey because Odyssey is garbage. But other than that, Assassin's Creed is the best franchise.
I just bought Odyssey this week.
That was a
on sale.
mistake.
What? I mean, I'm not going to say it's the best.
I'm
but,
going
like,
in as a diehard Assassin's Creed fan.
Yeah,
That's my favorite franchise. I love the lore. I love everything about it, and Odyssey messes up the lore entirely.
Okay. Brent, I'm gonna get real with you. So I love Assassin's Creed. I love it. Absolutely love it. Black Flag probably in my top 5 games of all time.
100%.
Just spectacular. But that game fucked up its own lore a long time ago.
Okay, to a
Fucking
point.
Assassin's Creed 3, where you basically play Luke Skywalker.
To a
Or not
point,
Luke,
yes.
you play Anakin Skywalker.
But-
and then they destroy everything, and then everything's fine, and then they keep going. No, that, like, I play those games for the gameplay, and they're fun. The story, gone a long time ago.
Oh, I love the modern day. That's one reason I don't like Odyssey. Is I love the modern day. Like, that's one thing I've obsessed over being a huge fan of Assassin's Creed is that modern day storyline, reading the comics. I've read the books, like reading all the audio logs and the Animus and
So
everything.
wait,
I've found
you liked Origins more than Odyssey.
Origins I'm still lukewarm on, but I think the actual story, like the Bayek story in there, I think is better than Odyssey. I still have problems with the RPG gameplay because they're like, hey, you're not level enough to do this mission. Go do all these side missions, which don't make them side missions anymore. I don't like that kind of gameplay.
I can understand that. It was a different sort of thing, but I think Odyssey is definitely one of the better ones for me. Just with the amount of like care and love and all the extra stuff that got put in there, I thought it was pretty good. But we're taking up too much time at the beginning about this.
It just makes
No,
me
we
wish
talk
they
as long
made a
as we need
Greek
to, it's
mythology
fine.
game and not an Assassin's Creed game. That's why I'm hyped for Gods and Monsters because I love Greek mythology. I just didn't think they did it well in an Assassin's Creed setting.
Okay.
Question, because it's been a while since I played Assassin's Creed. Like I stopped playing in the middle of Assassin's Creed 3.
Good call.
3 is actually good, and I will ride on that horse till I die.
With Paul Revere, like it's the Magic School Bus.
My understanding was Assassin's Creed 3 ended the modern day storyline. Do they keep that up even?
Yeah, they did, and then they kept going.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just nothing to do with the modern day storyline anymore from Black Flag and on?
No. The
yeah, I
modern
will
day's
admit-
still there. They just
They
kept
not
going.
know, they do not know what they want to do with it right now. Like in the comics, Desmond's had a whole son, and he's
Freaking-
supposed to be a sage, and like they're not just doing anything with it right now. I don't know what they're
So
wanting to
bad.
do. I love Assassin's Creed, but I won't defend Ubisoft either. They do not know what they're doing right now.
Oh boy.
All right, fair enough. All right, is that all we've been playing this week?
Yes, sir.
I think so.
All right, let's move on to the fetch quests. We have some exciting ones this week. First off, right off the gate, Baldur's Gate 3 will release in early access later this year. This is from Joseph Nope at IGN. The gameplay will be shown off at PAX East next week.
My
So,
body is ready. I want it.
I've never played Baldur's Gate before, but I'm excited to see it, see what it's all about, see what it's like, see what they're going to do with it.
So excited.
Borderlands movie gets a second wind as Eli Roth is set to direct. Quote from Eli Roth, "I look forward to bringing my own energy, ideas, and vision to the wild, fun, and endlessly creative world of the game. Randy Pitchford and everyone at Gearbox has been incredibly supportive of my ideas. It really feels like a perfect storm of creators coming together. We are out to make a new classic, one which fans of the game will love, but also one which will find new audiences globally."
Who is this for?
It's for new audiences globally.
But who?
Well, other good news is Randy Pitchford is an executive producer, which guarantees it to be a good movie.
Guarantees
though?
that he'll. No,
It doesn't.
I'm not going to finish that joke.
I don't. It's known on this podcast. I'm not a big Borderlands fan. I think this sounds like the most obnoxious movie
Like-
ever made.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I enjoy Borderlands, but like, I enjoy it in I'm playing a game and blowing shit up and doing crazy things, and then occasionally this insane person says something funny, and I laugh at it,
Yeah.
and then I go shoot more shit. I don't know where. I don't know, man. I could do without a movie of
I
Borderlands.
think they could make like a Mad Max style like Borderlands movie, and it'll be halfway decent.
just make.
Yeah, I think
Mad
like
Max.
a really goofy Mad Max. Yeah,
Let's just make Mad Max. Just let make more Mad Max,
Exactly.
please.
they
That
need to make Mad Max 5. Fury
They need
Road
to
was
make another Mad
amazing.
Max game because that Mad Max game was amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't never played it.
It's
I want to.
so
though.
good. I did not think it was going to be good, and it definitely is one of. I wouldn't say it's like my top 10 or anything, but if I had to put like a top 20 out there, Mad Max would probably be in there. Insane
It's a good
game.
one.
And I
Everyone
have no
I know who has
connection
played
to the
it
movies.
loves it. Oh,
Yeah.
have you seen Fury Road?
I've seen it, but it's like I'm not a mega fan, so I
Okay.
didn't go into the game expecting that. So the game itself
see.
just blew
Yeah.
me away.
All right. Yeah, I've only seen Fury Road. I haven't seen anything else, and I really want to play that game. This is exciting news, this next one.
Yes.
Kickstarter is one of the first major tech companies in the U.S. to unionize. We've talked a lot about unionization in this podcast. I think, you know, if you can go back and listen to my opinions on what that is, but I've always said I'd be supportive if a company decided to do it, and
Yep.
I'm very excited to see how it plays out, and I wish them the best.
That's what's up.
Nintendo reveals new Coral Switch light color.
I like it. It's cute. I kind of
It is
want
cute.
it.
Looks good.
If I can get cross saves on a Switch and like be able to transfer my progress between two systems, I'd be more compelled. But without that,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
yeah, no. Nintendo doesn't know what the internet is, so
Yeah, I've had to replay Breath of the Wild just because I've lost like all my progress on everything.
that's I'll say of games to have to replay, that's not a bad one.
Yeah,
'Cause you can
like,
definitely
I
do it in a
actually
different
had
way.
a lot of fun replaying it, but it does
Right
kinda
now,
suck.
Chad is just screaming at his phone listening to this. But he can suck it because you're not here. So we're going to talk about good about Breath of the Wild because it's a good game.
and Animal Crossing.
Yeah, this podcast is like the anti-Chad episode if anyone existed.
We
True,
need
Chad, but
Steven
not really.
Dutzman on here. We have like everyone just being like, "Fuck Chad."
He'll be here next week.
Hey.
Can I
Dude's
like
me.
just call into the show and be like, "Hey, fuck you, Chad. I love you though."
Easily one of the dumbest stories of the week. One of them, at least.
Oh,
Google
no.
Stadia now compatible on additional smartphones. All of your favorite phones, like the Google Pixel phones, which are already there. The Razer phones, which are cool phones, but who has one? The Asus ROG phone. I haven't even heard of this phone. And, okay, the Samsung phones, S8, S9, S10, and S20. I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess it's new. Those are good gets. But, like, where's iOS?
Yeah.
Where's iOS? Anyway.
That's
Enough
what
of
I'm like. I'm curious if they just don't care or if Apple's being shifty about it because it's the same thing I'm worried about with like when
xCloud.
xCloud comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I've heard something that it's something on Apple's side, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, I there's not enough to state it as fact, but I've
Yeah.
heard it's on Apple's side.
I mean, they have Netflix on there. They have streaming services that aren't games, so I don't see why it'd be any different. They just give 30%
Because
of their
those
cut
aren't
to...
owned by Google or Microsoft.
But that would be like a serious antitrust lawsuit if they only wouldn't let it on because it's from those specific companies. I don't know.
I mean, as long as they don't specifically say that.
That's true. Last one here. Respawn considered a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order delay to polish, but ultimately they ended up not doing that, obviously. That upsets me, because that was my biggest issue with the game, is it just wasn't refined.
Yeah, I kind
I-
of stopped playing it for a little bit to like wait for an update. It never got too bad, but I was also kind of like, okay, I have other games to play. I'll see if they'll update it on Steam or something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock them for doing that. Like, don't get me wrong. Polish is always good. And, you know, the Miyamoto line, you know, a delayed game is not bad and stuff like, yeah, I misquoted it. But anywho, the thing is though, is if they had delayed that Star Wars game, and they were like, oh, we still haven't put out like the Star Wars game that everyone has been asking for, a single player one, they were gonna get so much shit.
Yeah,
like that would have hurt its sales even more.
My only thing with it is I've seen developers come on Twitter and be like, yeah, you guys know that things like ready to ship bugs and stuff exist like that and all that. So I don't know how to feel about it, because some developers are saying like there's a certain type of bug that we leave to update later. There's certain things like, so I'm not entirely sure.
I totally get what you guys are coming from. The bugs I experienced, I wouldn't consider like a ready to ship bug.
What did you experience?
Oh, I experienced things like I would walk into a room where I knew enemies were and they weren't there. And then suddenly I'm surrounded and I'm dead.
Dang.
Or I would walk into a room. I walk into like a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel it's like all black, and I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be like a dark room. Like, what's gonna be in there? And it's actually an empty room, and I just fell through the environment, and I'm just perpetually falling forever. So I had some really bad
Okay, I
bugs
take
in
it
that
back.
game.
Then I only experienced like frame dips. That was about it.
No, I didn't have that.
I've heard a lot of it's gotten worked out, so it's not there anymore.
Yeah, but still,
so I kind of want to go back and retry it again. But
it is a game
tough.
that I'm going to go back to because, like, despite how I felt about the ending, or despite, like, Cal being like, what ledge? I'll just fall to my death.
We all know who pops up in the ending now, so.
I will say,
Snape?
That's
what are you
there,
talking
but
about?
Snape,
right?
There's more to the story. You'll be fine.
It's like I kind of guessed it because everyone was saying like, "Hey, someone shows up in the end." I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know who.
Actually, there's a trailer that did reveal that.
I was lucky I didn't see that because I don't watch
the
sports.
week one launch trailer. Just straight up is like, "Hey, here's frickin' Vader." Why not?
Did you just spoil that for Brent Trevor? How could you do that?
Fuck you, Holden.
No, come on, man. Why would you do that? I didn't know. Now you're gonna tell me Superman flies into the sun and dies.
I didn't know that, but I don't care.
No, okay. It's like two-minute story. There was this movie called All-Star Superman, and like we watched it.
I haven't heard of this at all.
It's an animated movie based off of a comic. My stepdad, like, I hadn't seen the movie yet, and he told me that Superman flies into the sun and dies. So like, ever since then, it kind of just became a joke. Like, I don't know. We're talking about the end of a movie, and he'll be like, "Yeah, and Superman flies into the sun and dies."
Okay, that's pretty good. But yeah, the Fallen Order at some point I'm going to go back to, despite the bugs, because it was fun. It was a Dark Souls-y kind of fucking Star Wars game, so I'm down.
I just experienced a lot of problems on PC, just like trying to tinker with settings and everything, trying to get in the perfect thing. I didn't think it was really optimized as well, but none of them were game breaking. It was just kind of like frame dips.
Yeah, what you had,
stuff.
Holden, that's fucked up.
Oh yeah, no, there's
awful,
no excuse for that, honestly.
Well, it was funny because remember when I was playing it, some other game came out that same week, and I opted to play. Oh, it was Pokemon. Pokemon came out that week.
Yeah.
I played a lot more Pokemon, and I played only 2 hours of the game. And Chad, when we were talking, was like, "Oh my god, there's so many bugs. It's just a fucking mess the entire time." And I'm like, "I don't see anything. This game is perfect so far." And like as I kept playing the game, it got worse and worse and
Pokemon
worse.
or Jedi?
Oh, Jedi.
Oh,
kept getting worse and worse. Yeah.
So I'll say I didn't experience anything in Pokemon.
I'll have to tell you guys off after the show a funny story about me picking up Fallen Order that day.
Speaking of Sony, because I played it on a PS4. So speaking of Sony,
I was so confused for a second.
You know what's bad? I followed Holden's thought process. I'm like, oh, he played it on PS4. Okay.
moving on to the Sony Quest log. This is an interesting story. I think this one's interesting. PS5 frame rate could be up to 240 frames per second with next Gran Turismo. This is from Joseph Yaden at PlayStation Lifestyle. Now you see the headline and you go, that sounds like a rumor. And then you realize this is actually a quote from the Gran Turismo series producer, Kazumori Yamauchi? I hope I'm getting that right. He said, rather than a spatial resolution that you're talking about, which would be like dimensions, like 4K or something like that, I'm more interested in the advancements that we can make in terms of time resolution, in terms of frames per second. Rather than staying at 60 frames per second, I'm more interested in raising it to 120 frames per second or even 240 frames per second. I think that's what's going to be the changing experience from here on forward. Damn.
I mean,
it's like official without being official.
Makes a lot of sense. It
That'd
seems
be
like
so much more exciting if it wasn't about a car game.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's where like most of the games are going to go from the future anyway. Because I mean, these consoles are going to have like RTX cards inside of them, essentially, because they're talking about ray tracing and all that. So mix that with a good processor. I think they're trying to do like Navi or whatever. So it makes a lot of sense, especially things like Fallen Order like are really bad on console now. So it seems like that's where the jump would have to be. We've already gotten really good graphics. Okay, add ray tracing and then just up the frame rate.
I'd rather have higher frame rate than a higher resolution, I think. Because once you get to like 1080p, especially at 4K, do you really need a higher resolution than that?
Yeah.
Like, it just seems impractical. Like, great, now I can see that the grass looks like computer grass even more so than before. Like,
yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about when I got a 4K TV and I tried to play Breath of the Wild. Like, it's a really good-looking game, but when you stretch it out that far, it's like, it's weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the grass did not look good.
Oh, that grass is gorgeous. Stop
Let's
talking.
go into Grass Review 2020.
No, I love the game, but on 4K, it is not. Like, I don't want to switch Pro, but I want a better dock or something. Like, to upscales it.
Yeah, that would be nice. I have a 4K monitor now, and I've definitely noticed some of that stuff in Nintendo games. They don't quite look as good, but like when it comes to like PS5 with this, like they've mentioned 120 frames per second before. We've never heard 240.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
insane.
Ridiculous. Considering a lot of people nowadays are like, "Why is 60 frames per second a big deal? Like 30 looks fine to me."
Yeah,
and then to know people will have the opportunity to experience 240 and not have to be in a PC. I don't even think PCs really hit that number very often.
Usually they do. It kind of depends on what you're doing, especially with the RTX cards they're put into it. Those, like, you can probably hit like 240 hertz and like frame rate pretty easily mixed with the right CPU. Because a buddy of mine has, I think, a 2070, and I played Overwatch on his computer, and he was getting up to like 200 something. It's really nice, but it's like
shit. Okay.
At a certain point you barely notice it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's super smooth. But the thing with it, the only thing I have to say on this is, okay, 240 frames, that's cool. But who has a TV that's more than 60 hertz? Like, 60 is the cap because most TVs are at 60 hertz.
No, a
That's
lot
a
of them
good
have
point.
a lot of them have the 120 hertz hidden in there. You just have to go through a bunch of fucking menus and shit.
Yeah.
Though for a lot of people, they get their TVs and it's already on there, and they leave it there, and everything looks like a soap opera, and they're like, "This is the future." And I go over and go, "My eyes are bleeding." But yeah, 240. I don't think people have that. I don't think my TV could do that. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be cool to see. It's something I definitely would want to see in action.
Yeah, no, I want to see it, but it's not something that I'm like, that's a bullet point for me to want to get this console.
It'd be nice to have more frames as well, because it'd be more frames, so that when you drop frames, you're dropping less frames.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because if like it can only handle 60, then you have like another 140 in the background. So if you drop, it's not like you don't really notice it.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like this could open up. Like, I feel like some people who kind of get nauseous from games get nauseous because of the frame rate. And if it's a super high frame rate and it's incredibly smooth, I think that might even open video games up to some people who might not have played it before, just because they're easier to look at. They're easier in the eyes. So it'd be exciting to see. I'd imagine the 230 frames per second, though, maybe just be for like a racing game where they really tailor. Like, racing games always look, like Forza always looks insane compared to other games. Like, Gears of War could never look as good as a Forza game.
Yeah.
Because Forza, again, it's like you're driving so fast and all that. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this. I'm also excited to see what happens with the Uncharted movie. Uncharted movie production to begin in 4 weeks, according to Holland. This is from Brianna Reese of PlayStation Lifestyle. This is apparently happening. This is coming from Tom Holland's own mouth. But there's no director still. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like...
no, I was on Instagram the other day, and I was looking through a bunch of stories, and I followed Tom Holland, and he like had a fucking video of his dog. I'm like, oh, his dog's cute. But then like the text said, on our way to Uncharted costume fitting, and I'm like, what? Who's doing this?
I'd like to imagine like Shuhei Yoshida's like, oh, this is what oh my god, what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. The guy who left last year.
Sean Layden.
Yeah. That's
Sean
what he's
Layden
doing.
went to go direct Uncharted. He's like, fine, I'll do it myself. He's like fucking Thanos with the director's gauntlet or some shit.
I'll do it myself. That's what he's been doing. Yeah, I'm. Where are you guys on the Uncharted movie at this point? Because it's definitely been in limbo for a long time. It's been here, it's been there.
I'd like to see it. I like to give things their fair shake. I don't like just coming out being like, that looks like shit. Because I genuinely want to give things a fair shake, but it could end up being really bad.
I'm more okay with it now that they're like, we're telling a story that isn't told in the games. Because I always hate it when like video game movies are like, oh, what if we just told the exact same story you already played in a video game, but then just did it shitty. Whereas this time it's like, oh, he's young Nathan Drake. He's doing it's like adventures of this, how he and Sullivan meet and shit. And I'm like, we've seen a little bit of it, but I'm okay with it because we're not getting one that's of the movie. So
Assassin's Creed tried to tell a different story, and it was bad.
And this is coming from a diehard Assassin's Creed fan.
I was I'm so mad. Like, I think on the podcast,
I hate that I kind of enjoyed that movie.
Like, there's parts of it that were cool, but like, I did the podcast for Sonic, and I was like, games are good now, but why the frick do we not have a good Assassin's Creed movie? I was really mad. But I'm looking forward to the Assassin's Creed anime, and this is not related to Uncharted, so...
It's in the kind of video game movie kind of conversation, though, which I think is going to become a bigger and bigger thing.
Hey, the bright side is that Mark Wahlberg's not playing Nathan Drake anymore, so everything's fine.
Isn't he playing Sully or something?
He's playing Sully, which, honestly...
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
can't see that at all.
No,
I don't know about that.
Okay, now I reversed my thing. I'm out. I'm done.
You're out. And Nathan Drake will be played by Betty White. It's a great cast. Very excited about it.
She's the freaking Russian guy from the end of Uncharted 2. Just covered in blue goo.
She'll probably still be around for 4 more sequels.
Good God, yeah.
Absolutely. So... like Brent said, like I don't know if it's gonna be bad or not. Like I don't want to say like it's gonna be really shitty. I do have a concern that it seems like they're kind of rushing it at this point. Like they're doing costume fittings without a director. Yeah. They're releasing this movie next March. Like next March.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not enough time for post-production.
No, it's not. Especially like how special effects heavy is this movie going to be? Are they going to try to do a lot of practical effects? Sounds like they need a director to help kind of lay out the game plan for some of that
and
stuff.
It's definitely possible to do things without a director because you have like a lot of people like cinematographers and everything that know what they're doing. But at the same time, not having a director is kind of like.
But the bad thing is that a new director could come in and just throw all that shit out.
Oh, 100%.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. Like they could have like the costume designers working and making costume stuff, but the director can come in and be like, "Actually, we're going to go for this aesthetic instead." Like you don't have that singular kind of voice directing everything. Or guiding everything, I should say. Like, I have concerns, but we'll see what happens. And I also believe this because Tom Holland is known to leak such things.
I love Tom Holland. He's great.
Oh yeah, he is awesome.
He's but maybe no one just pitched that memo to him. Maybe they're just like, all right, it's not happening right now, but no one's told Tom.
He still showed up to the place. He's like, I'm ready to get my costume. And they're like, just throw like some jeans and a shirt on him. Tell him it's good.
And there's some like super fan of Tom Holland. There's like, oh yeah, I'm on the production team for Uncharted. I'll do the costume. We'll do the costume together.
Let me measure your pants.
Yeah.
All right, could you just spread your... Okay.
And then it's like,
Joey
hey,
and friends. Oh, they tuck it to the side.
Yeah, just move to the side.
Move to the side. That's how they do pants. In prison. That's a great episode of Friends.
Good episode.
Maybe it'll be better than the Uncharted movie. We don't know. We'll find out. But do you know what's definitely not better than the Uncharted movie?
What the fuck transition is this?
GameStop's troubles continue. Employees given unrealistic targets. GameStop's in trouble. Definitely worse than the Uncharted movie. Moving on to the third-party quest log.
There we go.
So, here we go with this one. So, all right, last year there were reports that GameStop was getting rid of the Circle of Life program, which seemed to hint they're going to take a more consumer-friendly approach, and doesn't seem like they're doing that as much anymore. Multiple anonymous managers and assistant managers at GameStop said that the changes only lasted a few months before reverting back to the kind of older, more hostile in-store tactics. Mm-hmm. So there were a couple quotes from the anonymous sources. One was, "I've seen a change in the sheer desperation the company has towards its profit margins." And the other is, "The company is frantic and distrustful. You can feel it in every message they send. The structure is falling apart and they're scrambling. GameStop has been pushing for their employees for more phone trade-ins, which requires asking every customer which kind of phone they have, its storage, and what carrier they're on. Managers are also required to send customer contact information to corporate so they can be pitched services. They must get at least 10 of those per day."
Jeez.
And then lastly, employees have seen an uptick in rude behavior from customers, which they believe comes from all the bad press surrounding GameStop right now. First of all, there's no excuse to be rude to GameStop employees. That's not fair.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, they don't make the decisions to...
Yeah. I can't tell me how many people got mad at me at Dairy Queen because I couldn't, put Snickers in their Blizzard or something.
What do you mean you don't carry Ben and Jerry's?
They were trying to hand me candy to put in a Blizzard, and I'm like, I legally can't do that.
Yeah, legally, yeah, absolutely.
No, so my wife worked at GameStop when the Circle of Life thing first started, and she told me about how the district store manager would come in and they would ask questions like, "What does Circle of Life mean to you?" And they would fire people over their answers.
Jeez.
Really?
Yeah, and so I told my wife, I'm just like, here's the thing. This is what I want you to do. I want you to give this fucking rousing speech about what it means and everything, and just fucking end it with your best Vin Diesel voice. It's about family. she didn't do it. I was like, damn it. But fucking they used to do that. I worked there when I was fresh out of high school. They've been doing some of these hard pressing question things forever. I specifically remember, this is one of my favorite memories from working at GameStop. The district store manager was in, and he was chewing me out on the way I greet people, because I greet people with, "Hey, welcome into GameStop," because you're fucking in GameStop and you want to look at games.
Yeah.
But the way that I needed to do it was, "Hey, welcome into GameStop. Did you bring any trades today?" And I'm like, that's stupid. And because I'm 19,
either they have them or they don't.
Yeah, it's like, I can
I
see
had
a
some in my
bag.
car. I totally forgot.
Here's the best thing. Literally just got done being chewed out. A guy walks in, the district store manager turns and goes, "Hey, welcome into GameStop. You bring any trades in today?" And the guy stops, stares at him slackjawed, and goes, "Oh yeah, I always carry around my useless fucking games in my back pocket." And I ran into the back room and just busted up laughing. So, yeah, they've always been doing this kind of stuff where it's just like, oh, you have to ask the customer this, you have to do this, you have to do that. And then they wonder why they're the laughing stock of the gaming community. Mm-hmm. And because here's the thing, I don't want GameStop to die. I actually do like GameStop. I like going in and being able to buy a game and them having merch and shit like that. I think it's fine.
And talking to an employee who focuses specifically on games and not also washing machines as well.
Yeah, and
it's
so
nice.
I don't want them to go away, but what they're fucking doing is just rushing them down that route.
And I feel bad because every time I go get a console game or something, I get it new, I always go to Walmart. And I know Walmart's competing with them because all their games are $50.
Holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that, especially because when Pokemon came out, it was news that, Nintendo is allowing it to be $50 at Walmart. But no, Walmart just does that.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the only game that came out that was 60 was Death Stranding, because I'm pretty sure they were told they can't do it. But
Hideo Kojima just popped out of the shouts, "If you dare sell my art at a lower price,
yeah, but most
you will
games,
be a baby in a tube."
Because the developers will give a certain cost it needs to be, and then obviously that's where the GameStop or something or Walmart will set their price. That's where it's usually 60. Walmart's okay, we're gonna beat out GameStop. We're gonna make it $50, except when a developer tells us we can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because this was similar sort of Amazon last year. Amazon would charge $48 for their games for a while, or for if you pre-order or something like that. It was $48, and that's because that's what they pay for the game. And they just don't make any profit off of it. They just want you to come back to Amazon. It's the same thing with Walmart. But going to the GameStop though, it's to Trevor's point, they just seem to be doing everything you should not do. I don't want to ever call GameStop for just a simple question, do you have this in stock or something like that, because I'll have to listen to 5 minutes of sales pitches before I can just be like, do you have the game? Nope. Okay, thanks. And then hang up the phone.
And that's the shady thing. They have to do that.
Yeah.
Luckily, like I know the people at GameStop because they're still the people my wife worked with, and I'll just be like, hey, it's me. And they're like, okay, never mind. But
hey man, welcome to GameStop. Do you like Animal Crossing?
Like, and it sucks because like one of the guys that my wife worked with had like a stutter. And he would have to try and do these fucking, like, paragraph-long pitches as soon as he picked up the phone. And if he fucked them up and the district store manager called, he'd get in trouble.
Oof, I feel bad for that guy.
And it's
there are also long diatribes you have to say, too. It's not like it's a simple, like, and by the way, Call of Duty's out today. It's like, Call of Duty's out today, and we have a 3 for 2 program or something stupid thing like that, where if you buy 3 games, you have to say this whole fucking thing. You can't memorize all that shit.
Like, I'd love to know the percentage of people who are actually like, oh, I didn't know about that. I'll come in and do that. Like, when I first started working there, it was, thank you for calling GameStop where we buy and sell used games. My name's Trevor. How can I help you? That was it. Mm-hmm. It's fine. And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that GameStop is going to ever get it, and I don't think anyone's going to be in charge of that store who is ever going to be able to fix it, and that's the unfortunate thing about it. I was looking into stuff where there are employees that are just straight up panicking that they're like, I'm not going to have this job by the end of the year. Like, they are that worried about their income from this company.
Yeah, they've closed a few stores just locally near me, and there's too many of them to begin with. Like, they're going to close down, and when it goes to the whole, like, the quote from the anonymous source, like, they're desperate right now. It's like, then do something drastic. Like, people have the brand to. Well, there was that. What was it? They had like a different version or different model of the store where it doesn't have like stupid signs everywhere. It's kind of geared towards coming in and playing.
It looks like an internet
like,
cafe.
Yeah, it looks like it actually looked really nice. And I feel like making GameStop's a destination to go to. In the same way that like people want to go to Starbucks because it's a destination to go to. They can go there, get coffee, and work on stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that'd be really cool. I just don't know how much that would really affect. Because like I go into GameStop and chill. Like I love walking in GameStop, but I still don't really buy anything. Like I'll go in there to pick up the new release, but if I'm going in there to chill, like I'm probably not going to buy anything. It's same if I'm going in there to play a couple video games. I might not buy something.
But I think you're right. But I think the point would be that it's in the back of your head. You'll have like a warm feeling towards GameStop as opposed to, oh my god, if I go in there, they're going to tell me a bunch of shit that I don't like care about, and it's going to create like a positive experience as opposed to the really negative one they have now. I think that's kind of what the idea behind that program is. And whether it works or not, it's a different direction to go in that at least isn't hostile to its customers.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. People will go in and play games, not buy anything. Absolutely. That's probably why they didn't end up doing it, but
so
I don't know.
Did they stop it, or are they just slowly moving it out?
No, they said that they stopped it. And this, by the way, if my memory serves, this is the second time they've done that, because they stopped doing the Circle of Life thing when my wife was there and she left. Then it came up again, and now they're like, oh no, we're gonna stop it again, and now it's coming back.
Is that
again.
What the gaming place was Circle of Life? Is that what that was called?
No. That was so. Circle of Life was their what they called their sales tactic, and it was basically a percentage that would be on the screen in a circle, and it would show an employee's percentages like a fucking score sheet, and it's like, oh, your thing there's not doing so good. We could probably get someone in here who could do it better.
I hate that.
So they measure it based on like, did you sell more pre-owned games than new games? Did you get them on to was it the Gamer Plus, whatever it's called?
So here's the thing. When I was there, they measured two things: subscriptions and reservations. Now they measure your warranties. And when they ask you if you want that guaranteed claim warranty, that is a metric they're on. They measure how many new versus used you sell. They measure so many fucking things about
Nobody
it.
wants a warranty.
So, like, don't get me wrong, the warranty thing is not a bad thing because, like, I know somebody who, like, they brought their game back and the only copy they had was the collector's edition of it, so they gave them that. So it's worked out. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, nobody's really wanting to go in and do that because most of the time, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And so now you're just putting in another thing to yell at your employees about.
Yeah, it's like I keep my games on a shelf. So I feel like most people do.
Yeah.
So I feel like you don't need a warranty unless you have like pets or like children or something.
You can also get them for the consoles as well. So like when I got my SNES Classic, they made a good point. Like, get the warranty on this because when they stop manufacturing these at some point, having that warranty will actually be really beneficial. Like if anything happens with it, I don't have to deal with Nintendo. I can just go in and get a new system, and they'll keep. I guess they said they're going to keep some like to the side for warranty purposes. So just, like,
I don't know about that, but
that's what they told me, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that sounds a little sketchy.
Yeah, GameStop tried to give me
Maybe
other people's pre-order
copies,
copies, so like I don't see them doing that. It's like every time I go to get a game, they're like, "Oh, we have someone pre-ordered this, but we can just give it to you." They've done that with games and pops and stuff, so.
Yeah, like they have like a 48-hour window or something like that where it's like, oh yeah, somebody pre-ordered this, but they didn't come and pick it up, so you can just have it.
Yeah,
that's how I got my Xbox 360 back in the day. Ooh, dumb person.
All right. Well, moving on from one disaster to another disaster, we're going to talk about the wrath of the coronavirus continuing. I'm just going to shoot through a bunch of stories here, and then we'll talk about them because they're all related. So first is that coronavirus outbreak has led to demand surge and shortages for Ring Fit Adventure. So normally that retailed for $80, and now this is in yuan, which is Chinese currency. It's converted to $250 to $400 per unit because of an increase in demand for it that they can't meet the supply for. They can't meet the demand for. Mm-hmm. New reports claim coronavirus will cause Switch shortages in the U.S. and Europe. This is because component supplies coming from China are slowing production in Vietnam. Last month, Nintendo had said they didn't anticipate production issues for U.S. and Europe, but this report comes from insiders with, quote, knowledge of Nintendo's supply chain. They were talking to Bloomberg. So Nintendo said one thing, insiders are saying another thing. We'll see how that plays out as we get closer to like April and start seeing how that's going to actually impact Switch supplies. Oculus Quest is suffering from shortages due to the coronavirus. There is no option to order online on any site. Supply is currently cut off. I want to put a note on that.
I was just about to buy one.
They're amazing. They're really good. They were already having storage supply issues before coronavirus was around. Back like during the holiday season, they sold out clean, and you could not order anything, and they cut off orders at that point. I don't know if they brought them back again and then took them away, but that had kind of already happened. They've already been having supply issues, which might be why Oculus Quest is getting hit harder now. Moving on, though, to the next one. Coronavirus impacts Valve Index VR production, so there's no more units will be available before Half-Life Alyx comes out on March 23rd. After launch, the supply will return, but it'll be very limited, and that's for, again, the Valve Index. And then, lastly, PlayStation's also skipping GDC due to coronavirus concerns. Facebook is also not going to be there. This is on top of Sony also not showing up to PAX East next week. And then Facebook followed suit with both companies stating that the health of the community is their top priority. So that's kind of how coronavirus has impacted the industry this week.
It's crazy.
Brent, do you have any thoughts, Brent?
No, I don't really vibe with that news, Just kind of like... It just kind of sucks. Like, I do feel bad. I got an email because I pre-ordered this PewDiePie figure like probably 4 months ago. It was supposed to start shipping in February. I just got an email saying it was delayed due to the coronavirus. So it's just kind of like crazy to think about that this is like a real epidemic happening, and I feel bad for a lot of people.
Yeah,
not to say that like, oh man, my figure got delayed. This sucks. No, it's just kind of just puts things in perspective when you see things getting delayed because of it.
Yeah. It's like the past few weeks I've been kind of not as concerned about it. It didn't seem like it was going to be a big thing. Like it was just kind of contained in China, and it seems that it kind of slowed. And then I guess they had a new way of diagnosing patients in China, and after that the number just blew up. So it seems like it's escalating now, and it's kind of getting scary.
Yeah.
It's definitely
There's been a couple reports in the U.S. or something, I think.
Yeah, I don't think right now it's the vast majority is still in China. But the reason it's impacting is that's where most things are manufactured.
I've seen one in like the state right next to me, so I'm just kind of like, oop.
Yeah, there was one in Boston, which is like an hour for me, which is kind of concerning. But yeah, so I'm not sure how long this is going to continue for, but it's definitely having a bigger impact than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
It really just comes down to, I think in terms of like next generation consoles, will those get impacted? It really just comes down to if they can figure out the supply chain issues before June. Because June is probably when they're going to start looking at manufacturing. June, July to start looking at manufacturing because they want to start making these things quickly or well in advance of the release date and the holiday. So yeah, I'm really, really, really curious where this is playing out, but it's definitely escalating. I just wanted to like bring an update to it for that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. We're moving on to Animal Crossing?
Yes, sir. Animal Crossing time.
This is going to be good news because we can just escape to a happy island and be away from all those terrible things.
God, this game looks so cute.
Now we can go on to happy stuff.
Very happy stuff. So, okay. I have a huge list of just like everything that was announced.
I literally just opened my 3DS because I'm going to play this while we're fucking talking.
We can go through all this stuff, but I want to just get initial impressions out. Like, what did you guys think of the Direct? Was it what you wanted from Animal Crossing?
100%.
Is Animal Crossing doomed forever?
This was like...
Hint, it's not.
This is the Direct I wanted. This is the Direct I've been waiting for since they're like, we're putting Animal Crossing on Switch.
I definitely
I'm so happy.
Definitely didn't need a Direct because like I knew Animal Crossing looked good. I'm purchasing it. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
But like it's just made me way more excited with a lot of things they showed off. There's so many things I've been asking for the series for a long time that they're doing now.
100%. Yeah.
I'm just ecstatic for this. I don't play games as much as I want to anymore, and I can foresee myself putting like 100, 200 hours into this game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it answered a lot of things that I was worried about from E3 because I was like, all right, we got the island and there's the tent, but like, are we going to get a house? Are we going to do the fucking buildings and shit? Are we going to get a museum? And it's all there, and I'm so happy.
The museum looks wild.
I'm going to give some owls some fucking bones.
The museum actually looks like it's worth going into and walking around and like seeing everything.
So fun fact, I hadn't gone into like most of the museum in New Leaf until yesterday morning when my wife and I are like, we're going to be real cute and lay in bed all morning and play Animal Crossing together. And I'd only gone in to check the dinosaurs because I was like, I love dinosaurs. And she's like, oh, let's see what fish you have. I went, oh yeah, what fish do I have? And we go, there's a whole fucking tank in here. What the heck? They're separated. What is this?
I usually sell all my stuff, but this new museum will actually want to make me donate because it looks insane.
Oh yeah.
Actually, the museum is definitely a highlight. But I completely agree. Like most of my major complaints of the Animal Crossing franchise, it's completely alleviated in this.
There's crafting. You can fucking just get some wood and fucking build some shit. Let's fucking go.
Well, my main concern when they announced crafting was like, okay, but am I still going to be able to go buy things? And I think in this Direct they kind of showed off the different stores and like Nook Miles and stuff like that you could be using.
Tom Nook is there. You will always be able to buy things.
It's just like
little raccoon-faced bastard.
Crafting sounded cool, but I was always worried. Like, I didn't want to craft everything. Like, I still like going into the store and seeing all these kooky little things I can buy.
Yeah, I mean, if I could fucking craft out of wood a boombox that looked like from the 80s, that would be weird.
So the crafting always had me excited because I'm in a situation right now because I restarted my Animal Crossing file a little while ago, but I can't get a watering can. And, like, the store never has a fucking watering can whenever I go to check it out. So I just haven't been able to use that tool before. But
isn't there a certain sequence or something you have to do?
Yeah, you have to do a certain sequence, but you can't just get it. And I feel like in this game, it's like, oh, I can just, if my axe breaks, I don't have to wait for the day when the axe is back in the store again. I can just make another axe and just craft it exactly.
Do we want to go through like the whole thing.
We don't have to go through the whole thing.
You put out the list. I'm down.
We can if you guys want to. I just put the whole thing in there so we can kind of remind ourselves of everything that was announced. But do you want to go through part by part?
Well, like we can pick out a few things. Like you got in here to like choose your island layout and stuff. I will say, probably the one thing I walked away disappointed of this direct was I was really hoping the map was going to be bigger than it is.
Yeah, it needs to be, honestly. With how much you can terraform and everything, I feel like it needed to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and when I saw the pick your map thing, I was like, oh, that looks like a little bit bigger than the 3DS one. Like, could we not get something a bit more? Maybe.
Well, they're worried about you getting lost on an island.
That was fucking hilarious. I want to know who this pilot
pointless.
is that's calling me a kid. It's like, open your eyes, kids, you're fucking home.
It better be Rossetti. He needs a job.
It's definitely Rossetti.
Didn't they say before that Rossetti wasn't going to be in it because he didn't have another job or something?
They said that he got
in
laid
New
off, but that they had another job for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I think this has to be it because it's going to reset your location back to your home.
Oh my god.
So it's Mr. Rossetti. So I think that's definitely what's going to happen there. The island layout, I don't know. I'm fine with the size of it. I don't want it to be too big because I'm going to customize this whole island. And it's going to be kind of daunting.
Oh yeah, the fact
like,
that you can add on to shit and stuff too. Yeah.
That was the only thing.
This is the moment where Chad turned off his phone, by the way. But yeah, you make a good point about that. But the north, I do like the north and southern hemisphere thing. I think that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those things. Like this is kind of pointless, but also that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure people in like other like regions like on that hemisphere like really enjoy
that's
that.
True.
And I'm really excited for the inclusion.
That's actually that. I didn't think about that. That's a really good point.
Well, so you're playing
Australia.
Australia.
I'm a dumb American, and I only think about me.
It was just weird because it was made
well, you're
by
American.
like,
you only have to think about you. It's fine.
It was made by a Japanese company, so like it's kind of weird that never existed. I guess
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing I want, like, I'm upset because I don't think this will come back, but I want to. Is in New Leaf, you had those fortune cookies you get by spending the play coins.
Yeah.
And I could run around as Samus.
Yeah, I want those to come back. I don't know how they would do it though. I used to farm play coins like they were nothing. Like that's all I would do on New Leaf was farm play coins.
Oh, they'll definitely have those back. At least they'll have some way of getting like the Nintendo items. Here's my guess. This is kind of jumping a little bit ahead. They're going to have like DLC updates that are free for like holiday events, that kind of stuff. Imagine if they were like, hey, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out. We're going to release all of this Breath of the Wild like content in a downloadable update to Animal Crossing. Oh, man.
That'd be really cool.
I totally think they took some lessons from Pocket Camp, and they're going to put it in here.
I just think the cool thing about the fortune cookies was the RNG aspect of it. Like, it kind of sucked after a while. Like, I don't need 4 Mario hats. But at the same time, it was kind of cool, like, grinding and getting that up, I guess. Like, it'd be cool if they're like, oh, Breath of the Wild 2, here's a Link outfit. But it was just kind of cool working for it. It actually gave me a reason to keep playing, I guess.
I don't think I've ever heard grinding and Animal Crossing in the same conversation before.
I grinded. I would change the date on my
game.
3DS. I would change the date on the Animal Crossing. Which
oh my god, you time traveling bastard!
Yeah, sorry, I didn't until I started doing the play coin thing. I was like, all right, I want these. I want these fortune cookies.
Go back to the arrival section. The big thing for me is you can tell your neighbors where to live. That's
weird.
Best.
That's awesome.
So fucking weird.
The way they pitched it is, and it sounds like such a happy like Animal Crossing way of doing it is, oh, you and your neighbors will come to us will collaborate together to figure out where you're going to live, which basically means you'll find a spot and be like, hey, what do you think of this spot? And they'll go, this is the best spot ever. I'm so glad
that's not
that
what
we
happened
agreed
at all.
upon
The freaking cat was just like, you pick, and she hands you her tent.
Yeah, but
I'm like, I don't know whether this is a whole like I'm too lazy to do it myself, or they're like, pick for me, oh supreme overlord.
I'm tired of making an awesome layout and like having someone just move in and everything's just destroyed.
Well, I like to farm in Animal Crossing. I like to like plant my trees out in the rows and all that, and have this nice big plot of land just for peaches or whatever. Like I end up with on my island, and then like some jackass would just some jackass would just go ahead and move in the middle of my farm, and I'm like, damn it! Like I put time into that farm.
He loved it so much that he wanted to live there.
That's my property.
I'm the mayor, god damn it.
I just want
I
to
can't
say,
get a shotgun and sit on my porch in Animal Crossing, so I got to do something.
Oh my god.
I just want to say I really like the title New Horizons, kind of like what they did with New Leaf. Like, I feel like looking on to New Horizons, making your own island, kind of like tinkering everything the way you want it, I kind of feel like it fits in with the name. And I really like that. That seems like the focus of the game is like, all right, this is your island. Like in New Leaf, it was like, all right, you're the mayor. You can do like the, like, whatever, I forgot what they were called. Like, you build a lamp here, you get like funding for it, bridges and stuff like that. It was going in a direction, but I feel like New Horizons is really pushing it to be like, this is your island, terraform that, get rid of the stupid pond that goes right next to your house when you want to go to your town hall that's right next across the pond. Like, get rid of that, get rid of that stupid mountain that you can't get over, you have to take 5 minutes to walk across or something.
Yeah, no.
That's the part I'm the most excited about, is customizing that island. I cannot wait to like make a town that's actually mine. I felt kind of restricted in New Leaf. It's like, oh, cool, the mayor. And I can make it so like shops open up an hour earlier in the morning. Awesome.
Hey, I'm going to pay this dude to pull all my weeds for me while I don't play for 3 years.
Isabel probably got demoted, and that upsets me. She was your secretary, dude, and now she's working with Tom Nook.
So in the resident services part of it, like, there's not a lot there, but the DIY recipes, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you gotta, learn the recipe in order to make it. But it does worry me that they're gonna basically pull, like with the fortune cookie, where it's like, we have 2 of them available that you could get today. And it's like, but I need a. Well, that's what that's what I'm worried about with it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where you, like, it's not just like you grind out some. I used grind there. I'm using grind in fucking Animal Crossing now. So you go get some bells and then purchase, from a list that they have. Instead, they're just like, we only have 2 available to buy today. Why? Because this game will take longer. And I'm like, what if you just didn't?
I don't know. I think they'll let you just craft your heart's content. I don't know. I didn't see anything in the UI that said they would do that. I don't know. We'll find out. I would be kind of bummed if they did do that, though. I like the customizing the furniture part of the DIY recipes.
100%.
That's going to be really nice. I feel like I'd get a certain color bed for a room, but it doesn't quite match the room that I put it in. And I'm like, if I could just make the modern bed be like white instead of black or something like that, like it would fit much better. Like small little things like that. Yeah, that's going to be nice to be able to change that.
I'm really looking forward to the being able to customize like inside your house, move things, like placing things down, like the way they showed off.
Oh yeah, like the way that you could do it in Happy Homemaker. Like my wife saw that, she's like, "Fucking finally!"
Because like Happy Home Designer was cool, but like there were some cool aspects, but there wasn't enough to keep me invested. Putting that in like a mainline game, it has me stoked.
I love how they pitch that feature too. Like Tom Nook's like, oh, and we'll just take care of that for you as part of our
I thought that was
services.
So funny. It was just like, oh, we'll do that for you. And
I love
I'm just
how
like,
they word things like in Animal Crossing marketing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's weird.
It's a real world. What are you talking about? It's not marketing. I'm buying this package to go to this island.
Have you done like that? Those airplane tickets or something yet?
The Nick Miles tickets.
Yeah, isn't there something like online where you can make your own like ticket or something?
Oh,
for Animal Crossing?
I did not know that was a thing.
I've been seeing a lot of those go around or something.
I'm on it. I'm Googling it.
While you do that, I want to move on to the airport.
Yeah.
So the airport is where you can invite your friends to your island and then travel to other islands. You can have up to 8 friends you play with at once. Shit, that sounds awesome. It's also your postal service. I don't know if that's postal service for like local island only, like it's been in the past, or if maybe you could send like letters to your friends online.
That would be cool.
That'd be very cool. I'm excited for this idea of playing with up to 8 friends. I don't know the feasibility of this, but I'd love to do like maybe like a game night, like a day of the week for just like going to people's Animal Crossing towns and islands and like see. Like once a week and just seeing the progress everyone's made, like that'd be sick.
Oh my god, can we do this for like an entire month of game night for Respawn and just irritate Chad to no end?
Chad, you have to buy Animal Crossing.
You have to get it. You have to make a fucking island. We all go to his island. Like he's got to be the one that sets everything up.
No, in his island there's just a sign that says no.
Yeah,
It just says no, and it's surrounded by weeds. And it's
oh
like
no,
his tent
I'll be
is
the
still
worst.
there,
I'm like, Chad, why aren't there any benches with this picnic table? And you don't even have a spread on it. What is wrong with you? I will
Villagers
be
have
the
nowhere to
worst.
sit.
Yeah. Your cat's been sitting out in the fucking rain for 3 days.
No, you got to do that though. That'd be a really good idea for real. Like, at least do it once a month or something. Like
Oh my
throughout
God,
a year. That'd be really
please.
cool.
Yeah, because it'd be cool just to hang out on each people's islands, but also just seeing the progress and seeing how people customize their island to their own like heart's content. I'm very excited for that part. The other part of the airport that's really cool is visiting, and this isn't in the note here, it's actually later on, but it's worth mentioning right now, visiting other random islands, as opposed to just having that one tropical island you would go to in New Leaf. You can go to random islands, and they didn't say this outright, but I was listening to a lot of commentary on the Direct, and one thing I heard consistently, even though it wasn't confirmed, but it sounds so right, it has to be the case, that you might get different seasons on different islands. So like maybe it's you went to an island that's in the southern hemisphere while you're in the northern hemisphere, so it's winter there, so you can get certain fish you can't get, and like that might prevent people from wanting to time travel as much because they can do things without having to time travel. I think that would be really nice.
I don't think you can switch it. Like, I don't think you get another island or anything.
Well, it's not that you get another island, but you can go explore other randomly generated islands.
Okay.
And like get different fruit from there,
Like
get
if you
different
have
animals
a friend
and stuff.
that's in the southern hemisphere or something.
No, not go to a friend's one. Like go to a whole island that is unexplored.
Oh, yeah, that's what they showed.
Yeah. That I'm really excited for that one, and it'd be cool if like you can take people with you. Like if you and your friend could just go explore a random island.
That's a good point. What's the limit on the multiplayer? Can you do that kind of thing, or do you have to stay on an actual main island?
Because I know that when my wife and I were playing yesterday, like so much shit got shut down because we were playing together. We're just like, oh no, you can't make donations right now because there's someone here.
Yeah,
and it's like, but why?
I'm kind of worried, like going to different islands and stuff, because there was that thing in New Leaf where you would go on the boat with Cap'n, and you'd go to that little island thing, and you get a lot of like bugs and fish there that would just sell for like a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So at that point, it's just kind of like, is there a point to keep grinding or anything?
Yeah, like I'm glad that it's a whole other island and not just that little one where I chop down most of the trees and then do that little thing where I just walk around slowly and wait for him to spawn in the right place. Because then I'm like, I'm just doing this repeatedly. It's going to be neat to go somewhere different every time, or hopefully different every time.
I just hope they don't have like instant money bugs or something like that. Like actual bugs, not,
Yeah.
I totally hear you, because part of my daily routine in any Animal Crossing New Leaf session I played is going to that island just to get like 100,000 bells in one trip. But I feel like they could alleviate that with it being random, where some islands just aren't as profitable as other islands. You just don't like, so it's kind of like, oh, this is an island that gets me a lot of bells. This was a cool find. And they also limit you going to those islands. It costs like, I was looking in the where was it? There's something where they showed how to get a Nook ticket, and it was like you had to have 2,000 Nook miles to get a ticket, and that was one of the more expensive things. Like some of the other things were like 500-800. So you might not be able just to go anytime you want to. I don't really know how the economy is going to work in this game compared to New Leaf. So like where New Leaf was so easy to get to that tropical island. Like once it unlocks 1,000 bells, that's easy to get.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going to get 100,000 when you go to the island in the first place. So that might alleviate. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm gonna go grab a Coke.
Yeah.
Go for it. So the Nook Inc. stuff with the phone, I think, is pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
That like when that being the next thing that they showed off, I think that's a great way to handle menus. And it gives it a little extra flair, because like the menus in New Leaf are not the best. They're very bleh.
Yeah, especially when you look at these new ones and you're like, ooh.
Oh yeah, no, I
nice.
like the fact that when you take out your phone, it does that little like intro home screen thing. That's pretty neat. And the fact that the Nintendo app that's gonna be on the phone is like basically the same thing. I'm like, that's really cool.
I might actually use the Nintendo app now.
I know. Who knows? Maybe. I doubt it. Let's see. The island-wide broadcast by Tom Nook. Get the fuck out. I don't want to hear your voice. Get out of here.
Well, doesn't Isabel kind of already do that in New Leaf?
See, that's the thing. I like Isabel. She's fine. Tom Nook, he's a greedy bastard. Get the fuck out. So the Nook Miles, though, that is a really cool thing. That I'm excited about because it like what Brent was talking about earlier, where it's like, oh, this is a goal that I've set for myself. These are actual goals in the game that give you shit. Mm-hmm. So it's like, go catch fucking a bunch of fish, and then you get some Nook Miles for it. And then with those Nook Miles, you can get a plane ticket, or you can get some clothes, or you can do whatever. I think that's really cool and awesome.
Oh, yeah. Also, the rewards you can get sound pretty great as well.
They look pretty cool.
Yeah, so, like, here's
a
list of some of them that I read off of there. There's a pretty good tools recipe, which basically means, there's like the flimsy shovel you get initially. You might then be able to craft better. Well, I don't know. We know be able to craft better items, which is nice. That's awesome. Tool ring, it's essential. This is one I have a lot of questions about. This is one of those, like, my big piece of Animal Crossing is I only have 16 slots in Animal Crossing New Leaf to store like fish and bugs and stuff, but some of those slots are taken up by the shovel, the fishing pole, the net. So I tend to limit those tools I keep with me. Does the tool ring alleviate that and make it so that I'm not having to fill up my inventory with a tool and the tool ring replaces that? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Everything right there, Brett?
Yeah, it just shows like there's a little, like, on my Audacity, it shows there's a little bit of, like, instead of there being silence, there's just like a little bit of, like, noise, so I don't know what it is.
Oh. That's what noise reduction's for.
Yeah, I can take care of that in editing. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it sounds good on my end.
It always makes me laugh in New Leaf when I'm just like, all right, picking up all these bugs and all this fruit, and I can't put anything back in my bag, so I'm just a crazy man walking around with a shovel now. All right, let's talk to a dog. Like, you know.
If it's Torrance.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a separate thing, if the tool ring is a separate thing that I can have and it doesn't take up inventory space, fucking perfect. That's the best thing ever. Give them the Nobel Prize.
Here's the other thing. Did you guys see how the inventory itself grows?
No.
So the first shot they showed, I counted. I'm like, 20 slots. Okay, that's an improvement over what was before. But you can
Holden's
get
going
more...
frame by frame on this shit.
I totally went frame by frame by this. You can add more rows. So there's one where the guy had 4 rows and he had 40 slots.
Thank God.
You're finally turning into Stardew Valley.
Fucking yes. Let's go.
That would be huge. I'm all for that.
So I do see that one of the other items that was in the Nook Miles thing was the top 8 cool hairstyles.
Yeah.
Is that how you unlock more hairstyles to put on, or because we were talking about this before the show? Like, I went to the fucking poodle dog and was like, I want something casual, and she's like, Liberty spikes that are bright green. Got it. I'm like, what? No. So I really hope that they just let you go to some kind of animal person and be like, can you just make my hair look like this? And they're like, yeah, sure. Everything's good.
Yeah, they got like
instead
facial hair and stuff now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh my God. I can have a beard. Oh my God.
That'd be great. Especially island life. I feel like beard and island life kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
Gotta have a beard for island life.
I'm just waiting for my beard to grow back in real life. Like, I'm really mad about it. I had to shave it for Valentine's Day. Now I look 12.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, Trevor, no, Brent, you look fine.
I told you, Trevor, I would either break your heart or give you great news.
Okay.
But this is about the hairstyles. When you start Animal Crossing New Horizons, apparently there's a character customization screen when you start it off, so you can decide exactly what you want your character to look like, instead of having like the one with the weird eyes or a dumb haircut, and then you have to wait a month before you can change any of that stuff, or 2 months depending how long you play the game for. Awesome.
Oh my God, I feel so good about everything now. I'm just fanning myself. I have the vapors.
It's kind of weird looking at New Horizons now, kind of like noticing that the other games were so like unintuitive. Like, we're talking about how many things that are different, like, this is different now, I don't have to do this anymore. It's like, there's so many of, like, hey, Animal Crossing restricted this before, now we can do that. It's just kind of, like, crazy. There's so many things you couldn't do in Animal Crossing, or things they just locked off for no reason.
Animal Crossing is one of those series where it's every time a new game comes out, it is almost near impossible to go back.
Yeah.
Like it is, they just add so many things, or loosen up the restrictions on things that you're like, I can't go back and do this.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like that's why I'm playing so much of New Leaf right now, because I'm like, I'm never gonna see you fuckers again.
New Leaf is the best one until New Horizons comes out. But man, I still go back and play City Folk. I really enjoy
of all the
City
Animal
Folk.
Crossing games, City Folk, interesting.
It was my first one, and I got an emulator on my computer for it. So I just kind of sit back and play with an Xbox controller. It's great.
I never played City Life, but I've only played Wild World and New Leaf. Wild World was my first one. I was gonna say something. I totally forgot.
How dare you? This is your podcast, Holden. Think of the children.
I get all my gaming news from here. Listening for this at work. Dude, come on, man.
Hey, I'm a human being. I can forget things too. It is definitely possible.
You're a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster.
By the way, I love your notes right here. Important tips. Bug bites can be cured with medicine. And then just on its own with an exclamation point, Gulliver. That's an important tip. Gulliver.
He's dead.
Yeah, so they said, here are some important tips. They mentioned the bug bite one, and then they just show Gulliver on the beach. And I'm like, well, what's the tip here? I don't know. Gulliver's there. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that was really
They were saying, look for people who might die. Don't let them be dead.
It was really weird because they were like, hey, Gulliver's crash landed on the beach. See if he's okay. And then immediately after that, there's like, hey, here's emergency systems, but you can only use that on yourself.
I am so confused by the emergency systems thing. Who in their right mind is going to get lost on their island? Like, it is...
Okay,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
You know exactly what that's going to turn into. Fuck, I walked all the way to the corner of this map.
Yeah.
I got to go sell this shit to a poodle. All right, fuck it, I'm just taking a helicopter.
But is it going to be like a 20-second load, though, is the question.
Well, not even that. It's going to be a 20-second load, and then also, if assuming it's Mr. Rossetti, who talks to you nonstop when you don't save a game, what is he going to say to you when you go to reset and go back again?
AOG.
It's not going to save you any time.
AOG, I need you to stop doing this, dog. I'm going to have like a 40-minute monologue. I always love those, but those are not practical.
You get into the helicopter, he just stands up, welcome to my TED Talk. Get comfortable. I'm a fucking mole with a pickaxe and a helicopter. You're going to listen to every fucking thing I say.
He says to give him a job, and that sounds like a great job for him. He does love to talk.
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, if I found his new job as like a TV station or something, he's like a newscaster, I would love that. No, just turn Rossetti into a podcaster, dude.
So you have to have subtitles though, because it's still the little gerbil sounds.
So it says optional extra. So buying a home, first loan is 90,000 bells. Where'd you get that from?
So in the text when it says, "Oh, you want to buy a home?" and like Tomnic's talking to you, it says the first loan's 98,000, and then the tent was like 49,000 for the first package deal. So it seems pretty much on par with where New Leaf was. That's a very expensive. I think the tent was the same cost in.
But you can pay it off with Nook Miles.
You can pay it off with Nook Miles. That's right.
Because Nook owns your soul.
I love this that every home has built-in storage. That was actually added to New Leaf at some point, because I swear that wasn't there before, but I just got it in my home. You can get like secret storage. Yeah, you get secret storage, and you can. You know how like in your like cabinets or whatever you have A, B, C drawer, and then you can have like six. 6 screens per.
I just remember having to buy that.
What is it? Can't say this right.
Yeah, I got
There's
lockers.
6 options for 10 items per 6 slots. If that makes any sense. That doesn't make sense at all. I didn't say it right at all. But anyway, you can store a lot. This you can store more in the secret storage, and then you don't have to have it in like your main cabinets and stuff. So it's kind of nice. Cool. And they're just going to have that built into the homes now, which is good. We already talked about the Happy Home Designer Inspired Home Organization. Yep. Extensions and remodels, of course it's going to be there if it's going to be a home. But can we just say, goddamn, does the home look so fucking good on its own?
Like, even
when there's nothing in it, holy shit, it looked amazing.
Like, they threw down that one floor with, like, the vertical pattern. I'm like, that's hot.
And then, like, when they show the upgraded home with, like, the 3 rooms going out from each side, that looked really nice.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot. Overall, just away from the optional extras for a second, overall this game looks so much better than New Leaf. It's shocking, like how damn good it looks. Perfect. Like I can't imagine Animal Crossing looking better than this.
It reminds me a lot not completely of the Link's Awakening. Like just how everything is just that nice round, like smooth shape and everything like that. It's got the nice textures and everything on it. It looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, so
Unless
the
this has
moving
like
in the trees.
Unless this has some really like bad things in it, like most Animal Crossings do, like like what we were talking about. Like there's so many restrictions. Unless this one has some of those, I can't see this being topped again. Honestly, from the way I'm looking at it, like it genuinely looks like all the problems of Animal Crossing have been addressed, fixed, and made better. Everything I've wanted is put into this game. I can't see myself wanting any more, honestly.
Give it 4 years.
It
won't be like, when
New
the
Leaf was
fuck's that
amazing,
game
and
coming
then
out for Switch 2?
New Leaf was amazing, and it still is, but I go play it again, I'm like, that is kind of anti-player a little bit.
So we talked about the Nook Miles quite a bit. But so the party play is weird. So I'm assuming that this is the party play is, so it's one person and then you have 3 followers.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that this is just on the same screen, on the same console, Joy-Cons hooked up and everything. And like that one seems to be like the most restrictive, where it's like, oh, if you catch anything, it goes into this fucking box because you can't be trusted to hold anything for some reason. It's kind of weird. Like I'm not really sure. Like I don't know.
Why?
It seems like it's one of those just like why I don't know.
Yeah, going to the whole Animal Crossing Second Horizons will like alleviate that, and that'll be what we're looking forward to. Man, Second Horizons is the perfect Animal Crossing game. They fix all the problems of New Horizons.
I can't see it getting better than this.
Newer Horizons.
Newer Horizons.
If you just need to bring me on every time they announce one, I'll just say the same thing over again.
I can't imagine me wanting anything more.
On that note, though, like seriously, the Switch has nailed it in terms of having like the ultimate version of all the major franchises.
100%.
Like,
Luigi's Mansion 3?
I still have not played it.
It's
and
really
I want
good.
to play it
Well, the first one's still the best, but 3 is really good. Coming from
it is
like,
very, very good.
Luigi's Mansion is probably one of my favorite games of all time, and 3 was like it's itching that a little bit. The only reason I like 1 a little bit better is because it's a little spooky.
A little spooky.
little spoopy. Be like Breath of the Wild, though, like that's the ultimate Zelda game. It's got the best exploration. It's got some amazing
Mario
puzzle
Odyssey.
design. Mario Odyssey. It's got 3D Mario, exploration-based Mario. It's got 2D Mario in there. Yeah, it's the perfect Mario game. And like this is Smash Ultimate. This is the same
But
it's like the ultimate version of Animal Crossing.
Out of all of those games, is this going to be the one that gets you guys to use the Nintendo phone app?
Yes.
That is the perfect use for
it. You can scan those QR codes. You can chat with people because God knows there's not a keyboard function on the Switch.
Hey,
but you
if
can
you
put
wanna-
it into your phone.
No, they do have that accessory. They have a little keyboard you can slide your Joy-Cons onto. I was thinking about that. I'm about to just start using that.
Oh, that actually
Christ.
sounds nice.
So
So we're in part 2 now. This is where all like the really, really new stuff is that I'm so excited about. This is this part where I'm like, okay, they're doing everything I wanted them to do in Animal Crossing. Holy shit. Starting with the stores. And first of all, you don't get the stores initially. You have to kind of unlock those. You just have a deserted island at first. But you get to decide where the stores are going to be. Which
That's awesome.
Love. I'm going to keep my stores close to the beach so I can like leave the airport or like fish and then get right to the store immediately. Don't have to wait too long. That's the goal. But I'll have like a shopping area of my island and then like a residential area.
Especially since I live on top of a hill below like an area of shopping that's right next to the beach. So I'll just call it OB.
That would just drive me crazy. Like I would want everything spaced like evenly.
Well, that was the crazy thing. Like when I went over to my wife's town yesterday, like hers is so spread out where it's like the fucking town hall's in the middle. This is up over here. This is over there. I'm like, my shit's in a fucking line at the top. Like that would drive me insane.
But
I
you
just like
you can do any way you want to now.
Yeah.
I want like a reason to go to that left corner. Like I want because if I don't have a shop over there, then why am I ever gonna go over there?
To get lost and have Rossetti fly you over with a nice TED Talk.
To catch bugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to catch the bugs somewhere. Isabel returns.
Isabel's back. No, that's what I was gonna say. Isabel's back.
Isabel's back.
Back again.
I looked at all the options that she has when you go to talk to her. And the first one's the most interesting, and that's Let's Talk Island Evals, which I'm assuming means evaluations, which means is going to be a Happy Island Academy now? Instead of the Happy Home Academy?
I like the idea that she's just like, she takes this file that's got all the other Islander names on them. She's just, all right, who we kicking off? Who do you fucking hate? Who you been leaving pitfalls in front of their doors? Let's kick them out.
You can do that, though. You can totally just kick someone out if you want to.
Okay, so what's
It's
up
amazing.
with, like, Tom Nook giving announcements every day? Is that just going to replace, like, Rover or Isabel in front of it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
he finally did it. He finally he got his own country, and now he's the ruler, and he's the supreme leader.
Because if I had to sit through all, like, the menus and then get into the game and then deal with, like, a 5-minute cutscene of Tom Nook talking to me, I don't know if I'd like that every day. I don't know.
That's why I just mashed that fucking A button, just like when that goddamn turtle tries to sing me on a boat.
Are you
Every
kidding
time.
me? That was the best part of New Leaf, just Cap'n singing. That was
The best part was the skip button.
bruh.
I'm sorry.
Dude, that was so cute. I love that.
It was.
It was.
No, so that's the thing. Like,
Is it
like,
the same song every time, though?
No, it's they got they got a couple different ones.
I skip it every time, so I'm like, it's probably the same song. Skip, 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 skip. I don't care, Captain. Sorry.
I don't know. He's opening my heart to me. I feel like I have to just sit there and vibe and listen to it.
They introduced a bunch of new visitors that are going to be there. Well, a lot of returning visitors, but there are some new ones as well. The new ones are, I believe it's, correct me if I'm wrong here, is Daisy May, who sells you turnips for the stock market. She's new.
She got some droopy shit out of her nose. I'm like, get that away from my turnips.
And CJ, who hosts the fishing tourneys, is new. I think the other people are returning. So that'd be Label, who's the fashion designer, Harvey, who says he's from the next island over. They show him later on. He hosts the Photopia
Yeah,
Island.
and he's the one that is the campsite right now for New Leaf.
Yeah.
He's the one that has visitors coming.
Wait, is the fishing tourney guy new? I thought he was in City Folk.
CJ, I didn't play City Folk, so I don't know if he was in City Folk or not. CJ?
I'm not entirely sure, but I thought that was the same guy because they had fishing tourneys in City Folk.
He was a beaver named CJ. Because
Someone just turned off the podcast like, well, obviously these guys don't know what they're talking about with Animal Crossing. I'm going to go back to chopping down wood.
Oh, and Flick hosts Bug-Offs. Flick is like a lizard.
That's great.
No, Flick,
He's like,
Flick was in
bring
City
me all my
Folk.
fucking food.
Oh, Flick was in City Folk? Okay.
I 100% know Flick was in City Folk.
Okay. I don't know
That dude's
anything about
my
Animal
homie.
Crossing. I'm a dork. I'm a loser. I don't know anything about Animal Crossing.
Nah, you good.
You should stop listening to me.
I'll just make
Celeste-
an Animal Crossing cast.
Yeah. Every week. I think we run out of things to say so fast.
Animal Crossing good.
Well, we would do an episode this week, but we got to wait 10 days to talk to this dog every day in a row until we can do the next part.
There's going to be free updates, and this is basically specifically for special holiday events. So, like, rather than people being able to time travel to Halloween and see what Halloween or Christmas is going to look like, you can't do that. You have to wait for a downloadable update to put that content in there.
I don't
kinda
think
smart.
you're going to be able to time travel at all in this. Like, the other ones are just like, oh, just, set your fucking thing. I think now, because the way that they worded it with the save data thing, which, I mean, I guess we can cover real quick. So you're not going to be able to download a save from the cloud, but it says you'll be able to download a backup from the server. So what I think that means, I think this game communicates with the server when you turn on, and it takes the time from the server. So I don't think it's going to be going off of what's on your game or on your system. It's going to be going off of an online connection.
good. Stop people like me.
Yeah.
As much as I wouldn't mind that, because I do think time traveling kind of takes some of the fun out of it, what happens if your switches in airplane mode and you're playing on a plane? Can you just not play on...
I think
Your
it goes
Switch?
off of the last time it connected. That would be my guess. I don't know this for sure. I'm talking out of my ass, but I don't think time travel is going to be a thing you can reliably do in this game.
I do think that they probably will take measures to stop you. It seems like the update series
They
example
have
of
fucking
that.
hated that shit since day one.
Oh, they punish you for it. Like, your town is covered in weeds if you time travel.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest downside of it. I like the idea of the holiday updates. One thing I hadn't even considered, and I heard this a bunch of times when I was listening to people reacting to the Direct, because I watched way too much Animal Crossing content in the past few days.
I feel that.
Is that they might have different events every year. So it's not like the same Christmas event every year. It's going to be like a new tailored one.
Oh, neat. That'd be awesome.
It's just speculation, but it makes complete sense. Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah.
So all for that. And then I think the biggest part of this entire Direct, which they didn't spend a lot of time talking about, but it's so huge, is the creating a one-of-a-kind island. And all the things they showed there. Small one, just having a ladder to carry around so you can climb up little cliffs. Like that a lot. Yeah. That's nice. Returning is funding the bridges and the ramps and other amenities to tailor your island. But they also have the Island Designer app on your Nook phone, where you can change the landscape, add cliffs, cover up rivers, or make your rivers wider, make a little pond, customize this island however you want. Dirt paths, brick paths. There's like you make.
Last time you were mayor, this time you are God.
Yeah, how are they going to step it up from there? I can't. Yeah, exactly. I can't even see them one-upping this.
Yeah, this is the biggest update for me, because before it's you can customize your house. Now it's no, you can customize the whole thing. Yeah, it's all customizable. That is awesome. Something I did notice about the waterscaping and the cliff construction is that there's a silver shovel when you're waterscaping, and there's a gold shovel when you're doing cliff construction.
Oh, interesting.
So
is that going to replace having to go get your golden equipment and all that?
I don't know, or if it means that you have to get your golden equipment in order to do those things. Which I would be kind of bummed if they did it like that. I would like to have that option at some point early-ish on.
No, you're not going to have that one early-ish on. I don't think so.
But early-ish, you have to crunch to get those golden items. So that's hard to get.
I mean, I don't even know. It kind of makes sense. If you could just do it from day one, there's not a lot to work towards, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised if you could do any of that stuff before you're able to get a house.
Yeah.
I think by the time you get a house and you have the town stuff and everything, that's probably when you're able to landscape and stuff. But I don't think you're gonna be able to do it before that. And even then, sorry, go ahead.
Let me clarify what I mean by early-ish in the game. I'm talking if it's after you've maxed out your home and then you can start really customizing everything, I would be bummed about that. But if you have to have your home have a few remodels or extensions on your home before you get that, I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with.
Okay.
But it's okay, I've gotten the exact home I want now. Now I can start thinking about the layout of this island. That would bum me out a little bit. I think also because I already have a plan for my island, and I'm very excited about it, and I just want to get started on that.
He's making moves.
Oh yeah. I have a name and everything. I'm ready.
Oh my god, you're too much. What else we got? Oh, the playing with the family. You have up to 8 people live on one island. By the way, did you stop the frame and look at the family example they had on there?
No.
They got one that's grandpa, and it's the lady squiddling from fucking Splatoon. She's and it says grandpa. It's so good. It's so freaking good.
That's hilarious. I didn't notice that.
But yeah,
that was the thing. Sorry, to go back.
Okay.
You reminded me of Splatoon. The Tom Nook introductions in the morning. If they're Splatoon, where it's a minute and a half of listening to 2 characters talk, I would be annoyed by it. But if it's just hey guys, it's Tuesday. All right,
yeah, if it's the same length as Isabel's and New Leaf, whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had to say that.
Oh no,
it was vitally important.
That's kind of what I was getting on to. If he's just gonna sit there and talk for 5 minutes.
No, I don't think. I think it's gonna be the same length as Isabel and New Leaf. At least I hope.
It's just kind of weird because he's in the middle of the island now, so it kind of feels like it's different than being in the dark room and just being hey, have a good day.
Well, the dark room is I thought about that when I was watching the Direct, and then I went, actually, how fucking weird is it that you're in a dark room and this dog woman comes out and she's just all right, everybody, have a great day. And I'm where am I? Did you kidnap me?
It's that Dark Brother. Sorry, that Dark Brotherhood mission in Skyrim.
Exactly. She just wakes up. She's like, all right, today you have to choose which one of these people died. But so what it looks like with the playing with family thing is like one person makes an island and then everyone else on that system can then move into that island, which I think is kind of cool. Like that would, like with Brent, he's saying his girlfriend, has 3DS right now. He could still have a villager on that island. That's pretty cool.
It is, yeah. It is interesting to me that you can have up to 8 people on the island, but if you all want to play together, only half of you can play.
Yeah.
I guess that's a newer Horizons thing.
Like, that's the thing. I'm like, that looks like that's really cool if you play separately. I don't think that's going to work well if you play together.
Yeah.
That's why my wife and I have our own Switches, though.
I do like the idea of sharing the island, though, because like if you wanted to like make this island together as a family, I think it's kind of a cool idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
that's true. No, that is true.
But yeah,
I would assume that you would be able to do the follower thing with the people that are living on that island.
Yeah,
it's also just kind of like I get both sides because at the same time I think Animal Crossing has always done that. Like you've always just had like one island, but at the same time with all this terraforming you can do now, like I'd be mad if I had a kid and I did all this stuff and then my kid came on, they're like, "Hey, I'm just gonna break everything."
So quick aside, I bought Minecraft for my nephews when they got a Switch, and so we spent like most of the night just messing around in there, and they were doing their own thing. I went over and I made a house like I always do, put on against a nice mountaintop, and I went away for a moment, came back, and it was blown up. To which I then looked at my nephews and went, "It's time for you kids to learn about PvP."
Okay. Holden's face was just like, it was a solid expression for 2 minutes. I thought he had frozen.
Amiibo support is also included in the game, so you can request villagers that way. I probably won't do that, but that's cool for people who have Amiibos.
I will. My wife bought all the Amiibo cards when they did the Animal Crossing thing for Happy Home Designer.
Really?
So we're going to have every villager we've ever wanted, ever.
My mom bought all the Amiibos when she got the Wii U one. What was it? That board game
Festival thing?
Amiibo Festival.
Yeah.
Which was kind of fun, but not...
Only kinda.
Yeah.
Only kinda. For visiting friends, this is a nice feature. Talking about the changing the island. This doesn't necessarily apply to like family members doing it, but if you invite friends, you can have best friends, and they can make changes to the island. But
that's a great feature.
Very good feature, yeah.
My best friend who plays this game, I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's going to be really cool. There's no way Bree's ever going to make me her best friend because she does not trust me enough on her island. She trusts no one.
That'll be like a new thing. It's like, are you guys Facebook official? Used to be like the term for relationships. Now it's like, are you guys best friends in Animal Crossing?
Are you Animal Crossing best friends?
Like that's some serious trust.
That's true, like I'll have certain friends that like, I'm cool with you joining my island, but I'm not like that cool with you, like you're my friend, you're on my friends list.
No, but you came here to appreciate my island.
Like
you misunderstood what this was about.
Like we can vibe all day, but you ain't touching my plants, dude.
Yeah. Looking is free. Touching will cost you.
Oh, Jesus. We're turning Animal Crossing into something completely
Yeah, that's like a dark turn. Let's move on.
Finally, Chad
that's
will
a
be
quote
interested.
from Party Down. If you see the show Party Down.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Jane Lynch says it. It's an amazing moment.
It's fantastic.
I think we've covered pretty much everything because losing save data we already talked about, and then free updates after launch for seasonal events, and Bunny Day is the first one they're going to do, which comes out launch day. We talked about everything in that Animal Crossing Direct. Absolutely everything.
You're welcome, Chad. This is all for you.
Yeah, can we get Chad's opinion? Can he just like splice himself in?
I'm going to just change the album art for this week to just dedicated to Chad.
just put a picture of Tom Nook holding up a sign that just says Chad sucks.
Yeah, just make like a special one for this episode, just the Animal Crossing cast.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I do like that.
So I take it you both are very excited and love the Direct.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm going to wait and see how the reviews play out. I might buy it. I don't know.
It's aight.
It's alright, I guess.
No, my friends get so mad at me on the podcast because they hate my rating scale for movies. Because, like, he's on the podcast with me. He'll always talk about, like, you always come back from a movie and you're like, I loved it. It was amazing. One of the best movies I've ever seen. 6 out of 10.
I thought you were going to be like, what's your rating scale? A Nook out of KK Slider?
He just gets mad because, like, I don't like committing to a 10 or, like, a 1. I'm okay with, like, really good movies being 7s. Like, they're still enjoyable movies. Like, I think a 5 is an average movie.
So then, Brent, what would you give this direct?
No, I think a 2.
Ooh.
Like, it was really good, but it was...
Wow!
No, I'm kidding.
A 2?
No, it's probably like a 7, I would say. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, there was a couple weird things in it, but it was a really good direct. I really enjoyed it.
It is a 7 because they didn't immediately send me the game. And I'm upset about that.
If I'm gonna rate it, I would give it a 9. I think I was like, this is the happiest I think I've been with the Nintendo Direct in terms of it having just about everything I wanted in it.
It did what like a lot of game videos don't do for me recently. They get me hyped by telling me about the game. Like, we talked about Destiny earlier. I love Destiny. I love it a whole lot. But if there's one fucking thing I hate about Bungie is hearing, we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, maybe, just tell us so we don't make up shit in our head and then get disappointed when that's not the thing. Whereas this one, they're like, here's how you fucking go to your friend's house. This is how you fucking make shit. This is how you redo your island. And they didn't, like, again, we don't know everything. We don't know about the shovels that you're talking about, the gold and silver. But we know we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
It's definitely, like, they gave a lot of information. It was really good, but 4 out of 10 because no Smash reveal.
Wouldn't it be so great at the end of it, just as a big fuck you to the fandom? They're just like, oh, but we do have one more announcement. There's a new villager coming to Animal Crossing. It's Blythe from Final Fantasy.
I had a tweet about it, and it kind of blew up, and I got really scared.
Oh, yeah?
It got like 1,000 likes, and then people were like, hey, that's satire. I'm like, okay, so was my tweet.
There is one thing that was like discussed around the Direct, but wasn't said in the Direct, and 100% isn't going to happen, but would be the 10 out of 10. Like, oh shit, this is fucking sick.
This is your get hype moment. Yeah.
This would be if it were like real and this is not real. This is just like someone said it. It's not even a rumor. It's like, this would be cool, and I'm like, that would be cool. Yes, it's fan fiction. So I never played the GameCube version, but one of the things about the GameCube version is that you can play like old NES games. In the, and I'm like, man, what if they combine this with the Nintendo? Well, not me, the other person saying this, but what if you combined it with the Nintendo Switch Online service and you can play all those SNES and NES games that are available in like an arcade, like on the island or something like that?
That is so dumb, but it would be so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Exactly.
Like, let me load up for 5 minutes to get into Super Metroid when I could just load it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, but if you see Tom Nook cheering you on, like, that's all I would need.
Get the fuck out of here, you raccoon. I don't need you.
I'm tired of all this Tom Nook hate on the internet. Like, he gives you a house for free.
No interest.
Exactly.
Paid off whenever you want. That's a good deal.
Yeah, the devil does the same thing with your soul.
Don't worry,
there's
no
interest.
soul. It's before he gets your soul that he does all
your
that
ass
stuff.
Is mine. Yeah, no, but I'm very excited. This is great. This is good. This is good. Direct got me hyped. I'm ready to fucking go. It's so long from now.
I know, dude. I can't wait. The only thing that sucks is the same day as Doom. Because I really like Doom.
One of my friend Kyle, he's my best friend for a long time. He is so into Doom. He is so fucking ready for Doom.
Same.
And I piss him off so bad because he's like, can't fucking wait for March 20th. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get that island. I'm gonna owe that raccoon some bells. And he's like, shut the fuck up.
Doom is like one of the best shooters of all time. Like, Doom 2016, I got so into that game.
It's fantastic, and Doom Eternal is going to be ridiculously good, but I'm in more of a mood to talk to some dumb animals and give them some couches and get some designs about how to make a bench.
I think my thing is I'm going to get home from work, I'm going to start playing Doom, get on the PC, grind out like 3 hours, just get really mad, and then go like lay down, get ready for bed, and just play some Animal Crossing.
That's a good way to do it.
Perfection.
I have both pre-ordered already, so I'm getting both. I'm going to have them on March 20th. Right now, I'm thinking I'm going to spend most of my day playing Animal Crossing, and then I'll take breaks with Doom. But that could change. I don't know yet. But I'm so hyped on Animal Crossing right now. And it's not like Doom is putting out a 27-minute direct about everything in their game. So I don't got no reason to be hyped.
No, they just had Markiplier play it.
Yeah. Hey, and Jacksepticeye.
Oh, yeah.
That was just kind of funny. They were just like sitting in the background talking to him. That's the best marketing. Yeah. Come at my house and talk to me.
Well, it's either way, it's going to be a good day on March 20th. There'll be lots of happy gamers.
It's true.
Gamers.
Do you have any final thoughts for Animal Crossing New Horizons?
It good.
Put it in my eye holes.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up then. Because Chad's not here, Game on Game Show is going to be next week. So no Game on Game Show. I'm so sorry to you guys.
Disappointing me,
man.
It's very disappointing. It's Chad's
Game on
thing.
Game Show makes me nervous.
Once again, another guy was just like, I will listen to this whole thing for fucking Game on Game.
I didn't just skip to the timestamp because I didn't feel like it.
All right. So just a reminder for our Barth of the Month this month, it is Banjo-Kazooie.
Great game.
So look forward to that. It's available on Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, it is. That's how I'm playing it. So it's accessible. It's a great game so far. If you'd like to play with us every week, get a cool new wallpaper every month, and have a say in what we play, support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/RespawnAimFire. Only one tier for $1. But if that's too much, no pressure. Feel free to follow us and share your thoughts with us at RespawnAimFire or Twitter, or on Twitter, or at RespawnAimFire@gmail.com. Thanks. And now for our usual sign off. Bye, everybody.
What? Okay.
Oh, do you want to plug shit again before we plug your shit?
I mean, yeah, we could.
Yeah.
We could, yeah.
For our usual sign off, do you want to plug your shit again?
I don't want to sway anyone's decision for your barf game, but Assassin's Creed 4 is on the list, and that would be really fun to listen to. So,
yeah, I think
that's
that's
what
the
I voted
options
for
right now.
I think that's what I voted for. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so Brent, plug your shit.
Okay, so I got a podcast, the Uncultured Opinions podcast. We do movies. I got a YouTube channel, Porkchop118. Stream on Twitch, Porkchop118YT. I do music. I guess I'm not really to plug that anywhere yet, but album dropping August 28th. I'll say that.
Hey!
Ooh, nice.
That's awesome.
Trying to professionally mix it, and it's difficult, but I think I can do it. I put a lot of time into it and passion, so...
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Not just recording music off of my iPhone, so that's a plus.
Like I said at the beginning, I host Difficulty Class with my sister-in-law, Allie Deichman, and we talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we have a lot of good time. We just put out a 3-hour-long episode of us playing through an adventure, and it was a shitload of fun. And then on March 3rd, I'm launching a new podcast called I'm Gonna Podcast, and it's stupid and dumb and hilarious, and it's going to be great. Send in stupid, insane questions to imgonnaemail@gmail.com, and we'll probably talk about them and say stupid things in response.
That sounds like a podcast I need to be a part of.
Dude, that's kind of been the thing. Like, we announced this, and then like I get so many of my podcasting friends just text me like, so when am I going to be on this shit show? It'll be fun.
Well, all right. And then Brent, you said the list for Patreon, the games, just so everyone knows. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Yoshi's Island, Vanquish, BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite's winning, so if you want to change that.
I heard the only thing on there was Assassin's Creed 4. That was the only option.
Oh, sorry, let me read the list again. Assassin's Creed 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yeah, it's just the same game. Over and over again. All right, thanks everyone. It's a great game. Apparently, I haven't played it before. Thanks everyone, and now for our usual sign off. Now it's our usual sign off. Bye.